The burden of friendship. Friendship is something that is very important, especially when you start coming of age, when you start realizing that life is better shared than alone. This doesn't mean that solitude is not good. It doesn't mean that having your own time, your own life, your own sphere is not good. But as you begin to grow, you begin to understand that life is better shared. Now, it depends on how you decide to share it. Now, in this case, I'm talking about friendship, how you relate with people, how you connect with people, how you spend your time with people. So, the people you choose to spend time with, the people you choose to hang around with, the people you choose to share ideas with, becomes those you refer to as your friend. Those you believe that, or at least you have an inclination that, if you have issues, if you have challenges, that they can always come to your aid because of the relationship that you have created with them. Because you have created a relationship with them, it is expected, at least, even if it is written or not non-written, it is expected that if you have challenges, if you have difficulties, that they should be able to come to your aid. And also, if you have a reason to rejoice, to marry, they can also be a part of it. And vice versa. Just as they are coming to you, you're also going to them. This is meant to make life easy. Friendship is meant to make life easy. Friendship is meant to make life livable, to make life enjoyable, to make life tolerable. So in the face of adversity, in the face of challenges, there's always people, there's always someone that you can rely on, that you can call on, that you can confide in, because they are your friend, because they have shown qualities of support, because they have shown qualities of being there for you, and you have also shown the same thing. However, the burden of friendship is something that we need to look into, because not all friendships are the same, not all friendships are equal. Sometimes in a relationship or friendship, one person tends to give more than the other person. Sometimes the other person seems to be lackadaisical about the whole relationship, the friendship issue, but the other one keeps pushing. Then sometimes they have equal dose. It's really not something that can happen most of the time. A lot of times there's no equal dose. At least there's a good connection of interaction between the two people, and they tend to seem to be like, okay, maybe there's a good connection, there's an equality in the friendship and all of that. But most of the times, one person tends to give more than the other person. However, the burden of relationship now becomes something that is going to be relevant to the person that gives more, the person that donates more, the person that imputes more into the relationship, the person that has a higher percentage, the person that risks it more in the relationship, now have to take on the burden of that relationship, which in this case, friendship. So if you're in a friendship situation, if you're friends with someone, and then you happen to be the one that gives more, the burden of that relationship now rests on you. Because if you notice, there are cases whereby there are people who relate to it or you call your friend. But if you stop interacting with them, if you stop reaching out to them, if you stop being good to them, if you stop being available for them, the friendship will naturally die. In that case, it's a friendship that is one-sided. It is looped to a particular side. And in that case, if you are the one providing more, then it is looped towards a direction. It's tilted toward a direction. And some people might think to say, or might want to say, that this is kind of a friendship whereby you are the one that is actually needing the friendship. You are the one that is actually asking for the friendship. You are the one that is actually pushing for that friendship. The other person is not that invested because they are not that important or they are not that interested, but you are pushing for it. So the burden of that relationship rests on you. So if you really want that friendship to continue, if you really want that friendship to succeed, if you really want that friendship to continue to bolster into something good, then you have to keep giving. The question now becomes, when will that giving be enough? Some friends actually are very reasonable. When you show up a lot of times, when you continue to show up for them, eventually they'll realize that, oh, this person seems to be good to me. They seem to be nice to me. They seem to actually want us to actually have a good relationship. Then maybe I should yield. Maybe I should also give the same. So they might eventually also start becoming outgoing, start becoming relating, start becoming caring and supporting, and also showing up for you. However, some friends never do the same thing. Maybe out of selfishness, maybe out of understanding that, oh, you need them more than they need you. Maybe out of the response of ego. They'll be like, oh, he has to reach out to me. He should reach out to me because he needs me. Now, that kind of friendship is one-sided, and the burden of that friendship rests on the person that is actually making the moves. Now, if you happen to be the one making the move, that means you call the shots. That is what the next person or the other person do not know. Of course, they will always believe that you need them. That is why you are seeking their friendship. That you need them. That is why you're always showing up. That you need them. That is why you always want to reach out to them. You want them to be your friend. So that burden of relationship rests on you as the one that is actually initiating the friendship. And sometimes you might have to go ahead and continue to do that if you need something. If you think that that person is important to your life, if you think that that person is important to a particular project, if you think that that person is important to a particular aspect of something you are doing or you want to do, you might still keep pushing. You might still keep requesting. You might still keep showing up. Even if they are nonchalant, but you know you need something. You know you want them to be a part of that series. You continue to reach out. That becomes the burden of that friendship. Should they turn around tomorrow and become receptive? Should they turn around tomorrow and also become very friendly? Fantastic. That means you have succeeded. But if they do not, if they decide that, oh, it's not relevant, and they're not going to show equal energy to you, then it depends on you to know if you are to continue or not. Now, if you're expecting something from them, if you're expecting to have them fill a particular role for you, then you might have to swallow it and continue to do what you're doing. But you have to understand that the more you push for that friendship, the more you push for that relationship, and if they are not interested or they are not showing equal energy over time, it will begin to stress you out. The burden of relationship, the burden of friendship in this case. You have to decide if you really want that thing badly from them. You have to decide if you really want that relationship badly from them. You have to decide if it is worth it. Because there's a thing about people becoming egotistical. There's a thing about people becoming entitled. There's a thing about people becoming rude over time. When they believe that they hold the ace, they call the shot, that they are very important to you, that you are not as important to them as they are to you. When they begin to realize that this is not everybody, but at least a lot of people, a good chunk of human beings will actually be in that way. When they start realizing that, oh, they are much more important to you than you are to them, that you need them more, you desire them more, you want them more. It gives them that effrontery to become rude. It gives them that effrontery to become lackadaisical. It gives them that effrontery to act the way they want, believing and knowing that no matter what they do, they can't go wrong because you need them. This happens a lot in relationship. In this case, a loving relationship between a man and a woman. It happens a lot of times, and if you have been in such relationship, you understand where I'm trying to go to right now. When a man sees a woman, a lady that he likes, he goes for the lady. He shows up and then requests for a friendship. This has been the norm for a long period of time. Of course, things are changing. We have a lot of dynamics now. It's going both ways in some cases. But the natural sequence is usually the man going for the woman. So even if a lady sees a man and likes the man, 80 to 90% of the time, she will not act on that desire. She will not act on that want. But when a man sees the lady that he likes, 80 to 90% of the time, the man is going to act on that impulse. Now, it depends on how the confidence level is, depends on how the need is, depends on how the want really is. The man is going to act on that desire to get the lady. Now, it becomes a problem when if the man desires the lady and goes for her, asks her out and every other thing like that, and she never has the same feeling for the man. Of course, a lot of times, there's a possibility that the person you're acting out as a man doesn't have a feeling for you because they don't even know you in the first place. But there's the old belief that the feelings will grow over time, the love will emanate over time and mature over time. How long is that going to be? No one can tell. It depends on how the relationship goes over time. It depends on how the reception goes over time. But the main thing is that the man that desires the lady goes for the lady. Now, the power dynamics becomes imbalance in this case. Trying to give the effect that, oh, you need her more than she needs you. You need her attention more than she needs you. You need her presence more than she needs yours. So the burden of that relationship, and in this case friendship, now rests on the man that is asking for the friendship. This can happen for starters, but if the man is smart enough, if the man knows his methods, if he knows how to run the parole, he's going to get to a point where, yes, I need you for now, I desire you for now, this is what I want. But once you get into the cycle, you now begin to lay the ground rules or the ground phenomena that is going to make it possible for that same person you are actually desiring to begin to desire you. This happens for some men, not all men, and that is why we have issues in relationship today, and we are going to have it tomorrow and continue to have it. This only happens for a few men that understand the rule, that understand the strategy. That yes, I wanted you, and that is why I'm here to ask you out. But after asking you out and getting into the cycle to become friends with me or to be in a relationship with me, I will make the environment so suitable, so normal, and now gradually demanding of your own love, demanding of your own friendship, that you now have to eventually invest into it. And that will only happen when you show workings. That will only happen when you show the good energy. That will only happen when you set a very good environment for that to happen. If you know how to do it, and knowing how to do it is eventually create a desire for you. Now, as the man that actually desired the lady in the first place, yeah, good. That was coming from you. That's a natural thing that came from you. It could be as a result of lust or whatever thing. It doesn't really matter at this point. But you desired and you went for it. Now, when she comes into the relationship, onus is now on you to create a space to make it possible for her, the lady in this case, to begin to desire you as much as you desire them. You have to start showing influence. You have to start showing good energy. You have to start showing that void that they need to fill. They feel like, oh, I have to fill that space. Oh, there's a space here, I have to fill it. The space here, I have to fill it. And that is why sometimes you don't just show up as completely done and made. Even though if you are, now this is for men especially, even if you are completely made and all of that, you still don't show up like that. You show up in such a way that there's going to be a space somewhere, even if it is created temporarily. You are going to make up a space somewhere. Now that lady that you are bringing in there, you are trying to bring into the cycle of friendship, in this case relationship, that she will feel like, oh, there's a space here, there's a void here, there's a demand here that I need to fill, and I have to fill it. And for me to fill it means I have to invest into that friendship. Because the burden, the danger in this case of you coming fully made and everything like that, oh, I don't need nothing from you, becomes the one that when they now come in, they become entitled. But they feel like, oh, there's nothing I'm actually coming to do here. There's no improvement I'm supposed to make. I'm not supposed to come into this relationship and enjoy myself. Now they begin to make demands because they feel like, oh, you need them more than they need you. There's nothing that they are going to do for you. You actually need them to be in your space. Simple. And because you need them to be in your space, they become demanding because they're going to be like, oh, I am from the highest bidder. So you have to keep maintaining my desire. You have to keep maintaining my presence to be in your presence. But when you bring them in as a man, and this is typically for a man, when you bring them in and you understand these dynamics, you are going to create a space. It doesn't mean that you are lacking. It doesn't mean that you are incomplete. It doesn't mean that you don't have everything that you want or you desire. It doesn't mean that you are not full. No, you are. But because you want to create a space, you want to create an opportunity whereby they also, as the person coming in, they are going to feel like, oh, they have to also invest. Now, this becomes the way you weigh the relationship over time. Now, this is not going to happen overnight, but this is going to happen over a period of time, whereby you start creating a space and be like, oh, there's a little void here. Let the lady that is coming in understand that there's a void here, and then that she has to fill that void. And if she catches on it and begins to fill that void, then she will start feeling important. She will start feeling needed. She will start feeling, oh, it's not that you only need her. She also now needs you. Because she has a role to play in this game. The burden is going to be lighter on the man in that case, because now she is also becoming invested. But if you fail to create that space, if you fail to create that environment or the void where she can fill up, it becomes an issue because you have to continuously maintain her presence without her having to do anything to be a part of that friendship or a part of that relationship. This eventually goes to become a transactional thing, or whereby you see people be in a relationship for a long period of time, and all of a sudden the lady is going to be like, oh, she's bored. and then break. Even if they are married, divorce happen because she feel like she's bored. Because she doesn't feel like she's contributing anything. She doesn't feel like she's part of it. You just feel like she's just needed there, nothing. And she doesn't need you back. So she feel like she holds all the ace. She can make decisions that she wants. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to affect her. It's going to affect you as the man. It's going to affect your feelings. It's going to affect your finance. It's going to affect your well-being and not hers. So she doesn't think twice when she wants to dump the man. She doesn't think twice when she wants to ask for divorce. She doesn't think twice because she always believes that, everything is to her own benefit. But if an environment is created in such a way that when the lady comes in, yeah, I liked you. That was why I asked you out. I like you. That is why I asked to marry you, get married to you. But now that you are in the cycle, now that you are in the relationship, now you're in the cycle, you understand that, you are just as important as the other person is. And the person is just as important as you are because you have to contribute. Now, I'm not saying financial contribution. That's another discussion on its own. But in this case, emotional importance. You have to find a way to get the other person to invest emotionally. Just as you are investing emotionally, that makes the friendship to be very strong. So even if someone decides to, they want to go tomorrow, they want to break up, they want to dump you and everything, it's not going to be a one-side thing. It's going to affect the both people. So before anybody thinks about that, they're going to be like, I'm also going to be hurt. So is this something that I should make a rash decision without thinking? Or is this something that we should talk over and see how we can resolve it? So it makes the friendship stronger. So the burden of friendship is you understanding the fact that if you go all in on your own without getting the other person that's involved in the friendship to get invested in the friendship, you are going to carry the burden for a long period of time. And you're only going to end up at the end of the day, maybe after 5, 10 years, 20 years or 50 years of friendship, realizing that you are only giving. You never give the other person opportunity to give. You never give the other person opportunity to invest. You never give the other person the opportunity to express their interest in the relationship. And then you feel exhausted, you feel drained. And to some extent, when you realize it, you start feeling like, you've been used. But really, have you been used? Or did you use yourself? Because you fail to understand these dynamics, the burden of friendship. Now, while friendship is very important and desired by all and sundry, it is still something that you still have to, in most cases, sit down and think critically. Is this friendship important or not? What manner of friendship is this? Is this a transactional friendship or is this purely emotional? It doesn't matter what I gain from it. I just want to be in that cycle. That kind of relationship you have, in this case, the people you are friends with, that you don't need anything from them. It doesn't matter if they are very rude for you. It doesn't matter if they are disrespectful to you. It doesn't matter if they like you or not. You just want that friendship to exist. But there's some friendship whereby it's purely transactional. Yeah, we are friends because I need you as much as you need me. So in as much I'm investing in it, you are also expected to invest in it. So when one person stops investing, the other person will be like, this transaction is going one way and I'm not cool with it. Then I have to back out as well. But if you fail to understand that the relationship, in this case, the friendship that you are in is transactional, and you fail to understand that, and you kept being the only one making the transaction without receiving a reciprocation from the other person, you're going to feel bad at the end of the day. You're going to feel drained and used. So the burden of friendship is understanding the kind of friendship that you have or the kind of friendship you are going into. When you understand it, then you know how to manage it. Everything demands inventory over time. If you want something to last, if you want something to exist, if you want something to grow, if you want something to become of high importance tomorrow than it was yesterday, then you have to take inventory at all times. What are the KPIs? What are you expecting? What are the things that you expect to have happen? What are the things you are not expect to happen? Because with friendship comes a lot of things. You have to overlook a lot of things when you are friends with someone. You have to overlook a lot of things. You have to pass a lot of things. You have to accept a lot of things. How is it beneficial to you and how is it beneficial to the person involved? You have to understand that. Take inventory, understand that. Otherwise, the burden of relationship is going to weigh you down over time. And when that happens, it's not going to be a good feeling. Because friendship is supposed to bring about improvement, bring about growth, bring about happiness, bring about joy, bring about, a good things, good tidings, and good opportunities. But when the burden of relationship sets in because it is looped, it is one-sided, it is not guided, it is not, analyzed properly, and it is not strategically made, you are not going to have the full benefit of that friendship. And the burden of relationship is going to weigh you down. In this case, the burden of friendship is going to become an issue for you.